The format for receivables management begins with particulars. We have one single existing policy. Okay, so existing policy. And we can have multiple. Okay, we can have, right, and I'm going to do this instead. We can have multiple proposed policies. Okay, so this. Right, and you need to divide this in between. Okay, it's just neatness. The neater the better. Make the life of the examiner easier. The proposed policies can depend from question to question, but there are questions where you can have even 4 or 5 different proposed policies. Okay, so let's see. We begin. Okay, we have proposed policies, and under that we can have policy 1, 2, 3, 4, or A, B, C, D, whatever is in the question, those same alphabets you use. We start with credit period, and then sales. From that we subtract variable cost to get ourselves contribution. Now there are questions where they don't give fixed cost and you can just use contribution and proceed. Okay, and then there are questions where you have more data. And I'm going to quickly extend these lines and we'll continue. Alright. Now, after we have contribution, we subtract less fixed cost. Okay, and doing that gives us what we call profit. Okay, and now our next step is to calculate total cost. So total cost, which we know is equal to fixed cost plus variable cost. Okay, we are simply adding this and this. Once we are done adding both of them, we calculate something called average investment in receivables. That means at any given point of time, how much of money is stuck with the customers who are yet to pay us. Okay, so a formula for average investment in receivables is equal to total cost into credit period divided by total period. Okay, divided by total period. So when we say credit period and total period in the question, they may tell us that the credit period is 30 days, 45 days, 90 days, okay, 120 days. Okay, so every time if it is days, then you have to understand, okay, that the total period will be either 365 or 360. But if they tell us that the credit period is in months, so then the total period will be 12. So depending on the question, it could be 365 or for that matter 360 days. It could be depending again on the question, 48, sometimes they give you 50, sometimes they give you full 52 weeks, or alternatively 12 months. Read the question and take a call. Now, we know how to calculate average investment in receivables. The next thing is to calculate cost of extending credit. And the first item in the cost of extending credit is what we call opportunity cost. Opportunity cost. Alright, and to get a better perspective of this, I'm going to shift the table to the right. Alright, so we have opportunity cost, okay, which is normally given to us in terms of a percentage. Okay, so for opportunity cost, there will be whatever dash percent. Okay, whatever that percentage is, you're going to multiply it. You're going to multiply that into your average investment in receivables. Okay, across the board, and we get for all of them. Now, the next we need to look at is bad debts. Now that can be given to you in rupees, okay, or you have to calculate it again. So again, it's going to be a percentage. Okay, bad debts happens because of credit sales. So again, it's going to be a percentage of, and I'm going to go all the way up. Okay, and let's just zoom out. Okay, so it's going to be a percentage of our sales. Okay, so this is our format. Okay, we have 4 different proposed policies. And we are starting with sales. We subtract variable cost, we get contribution, we subtract fixed cost, we get ourselves profit. Okay, and profit is what we consider to be A. Alright, and I'm going to zoom back in to complete this. Okay, and then we can zoom back out to get an idea. The last cost of extending credit would be collection cost. Which most of the time doesn't come, but if it comes, you know. Okay, and then we get a total. Okay, maybe we can call it total credit cost, which we can label B. Okay, so what happens is we take the A, which is profit, and subtract B to get ourselves net benefit, which is A minus B. And then finally, we calculate incremental benefit, which, if let's say we have the net benefit of the existing policy, the net benefit of the existing policy, if that was to be P. Okay, so let's say it is P for policy 1, we got Q, R, S, T. What happens to calculate incremental? Right, so I'm going to go back in. Right, remember we have profit, we have total credit cost, we subtract, we get net benefit, and then we go ahead and calculate incremental benefit. Anyway, going back in, okay, we have this, everybody subtracts itself from P. Okay, so it's going to be for under Q, under policy, proposed policy 1, incremental benefit is going to be Q minus P. Similarly, R minus P, S minus P. All of these characters, wherever in their spots, subtracting this number. Okay, so P minus P. And which one will you take? Whichever is the highest. Now, you will take whichever is highest, but if all of them are negative, then you will simply stick with the original existing policy. Alright, so I hope this is clear to all of you. If you all have doubts, please ask me. I have given you all a formula for I have given you all a formula for average investment in receivables. I'm going ahead. Anyway, it's there, but for those who have doubts, the bad debts over here is going to be the rate of bad debts into the sales. Okay, our total cost, it's written on top, but I'm just doing it anyway, is equal to fixed cost plus fixed cost plus variable cost. And your decision will be whichever of these are highest. If all are negative, stick to existing policy. Why am I saying this? Because once you are done solving the sum, you'll have to write a sentence. Now, whichever is highest, you actually have to say, therefore, the management is advised to take proposed policy 3. Or, therefore, the management is advised to remain with the existing policy because the incremental benefit of the proposed policies are negative. Okay, so depending on your answer, you have to give that one sentence, which you get 1 mark for. Any doubts, feel free to comment. Thank you.